Hey, how you doing? I am Uncle Snaff, and we're going to get right to business. So, all that being said, I was just watching a video with Sandman on it, showing us these wonderful, ever so loving American locks. And I know how everybody is in such love with these things. Oh, the sarcasm, you just can't understand. These things, I have been absolutely struggling my ass off with it. Sandman goes here and says, click, 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 do this, do this, do this, click, click. That's okay, Sandman. I still love you, man. But these things here are driving me bonkers. That being said, I can't thank you enough for making a video on how to do these. So you really did motivate me, and I'm back to working on it. But man, yeah, struggling. So all that being said, hey, I'm just an orange belt. I'm no fancy lock picker or anything like that. I'm learning. That's what this whole channel is about me learning picking locks. I don't know what I can offer you guys when it comes to actually click, 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 and plop, and off she goes, she's open. What I can talk about, though, is tools. And I can talk till I'm blue in the face with tools. So here's something that was going on. We're going to zoom in here. We're going to get down to the brass tacks. That is really simple. Sandman was going at it, and he's picking away, and he's got a top of keyway tension. Hold on, let me get the right one. He's got a top of keyway tension tool, and he's in there picking away. Here we go. Here's a better representation of what he's holding on to. But it's a little bit longer top of keyway tool, and it's actually one of those sideways fitting ones. All right, so I don't know what to call these. Windshield wiper is the best way to explain it. All right, but that's basically what it is, just a bent windshield wiper in all essence. Yes, we've got them in all kinds of fancies and made by all kinds of manufacturers and thicknesses and you name it. All right, so multi-pick right here. This is a multi-pick. All right, fits right in there. This is the 1.3 millimeters. So fits nice and snug right here in the lock. I mean, it really is a nice fitting tool and all that kind of stuff. And if you'll notice, when you put it in here, top keyway, it fits right down to the face of the lock, which means, did it right in front of you. When you push on one of these, doesn't even matter if it's sitting down to this and you push on it, what happens is they have a tendency to rotate out and flop right on out. That is if you're turning, in this particular case, backwards against the keyway. But if you're turning with the keyway, it still does the same thing. It wants to turn out. All right, now I'm going to overdo this just a little bit. Let's use a slightly longer one. Pay attention. Don't pay attention to the roundness on that. That's not actually here. I got so many stinking tools, I can just reach right into my bag of tools here. Let me see. Let's grab a little bit better example of what I'm talking about. Top of keyway. Yeah, maybe this one will work. All right. When you're getting into the top of keyway, I still don't have a long enough one. I'm just going to have to use this one for the moment. All right. There's all these stinking tools, and I still don't have the exact one that I'm looking for, per se. I know I got one in there. I just got to dig in deep enough to find it. But that being said, all right, when you use a long tool, you're going to place pressure against the tool itself. And if it's raised up, let's get this back in there. If it's raised up higher than the face of the lock, what happens is down here at the actual keyway, if you can see that there, all right, this is basically sitting in here and it's going to rock back and forth. Now, I don't care if it's got a flat end or if it's a round end, but any type of these turning tools, if it's sitting too high, you've got a problem where it's going to twist out left or right, in or out, doesn't really matter. It's all the same. Here we go. Here's the tool I was actually looking for, all right? And actually, I do believe this is actually the tool that he was using to demonstrate this with, all right? But the problem exists that when you apply that pressure, what happens is the tool wants to twist. And I know you guys have all experienced this at some point in time. Top of keyway, you're pushing and you push on it and the tool turns out. Now, this tool just happens to match this whole lock exactly. So it fits in there pretty tight, but even fitting in there tight, if you apply enough pressure, even light pressure, you see how the tool wants to turn out. All right. Now, if you are using a top of keyway tool like such, this just happens to be Covert Instruments flat bar. All right, I guess is what they call this, is the flat bar. I don't know, I lose track of all the stinking names. But all that being said, when you put this in here like such and you apply pressure, you can control the up and down. All right, so let's get this back into focus. You can control the up and down. So honestly speaking, you don't have to worry about the tool popping out because you can control it. But even that being said, all right, pushing up against it like such, you've got no problems. Here's something I noticed, all right, and because I'm left-handed, so I suffer from the ills that you guys unfortunately don't, or most of you guys don't. But a lot of you guys don't understand the problem that we lefties do because we're always going backwards. See, I'm backwards in the keyway. But if I'm going to use, this is one of Covert's ergo turning tools, all right? And I apply pressure, I have to watch my finger rock back and forth because I can accidentally rock my finger right out of the way, all right? And that happens to because what's going on here is where the tool is sitting in reference to how far away it is away from where my finger has to work. Now, I'm not talking from here to here. I'm talking from here to here at the bend. That introduces a whole lot of rock, and I have to control that. And even the slightest little slip, and I lose it, all right? If I go backwards with this, and I'm going to use my thumb this time, all right? Well, now what happens when I'm applying that pressure pushes up against the face of the lock, and it keeps this tool in play. And I don't have to worry about it. I can sit here and rock and roll this tool like this all day long. Click, 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 no problem. It has to do with where we put the bends and how we put the bends. The ergo tools probably work very well for right-handed people. Now, I'm going to pick a little bit on the righties on this, only in the aspect of I'm not right-handed. I'm about as left-handed as they come. I am like handicap left-handed, that kind of left-handed. So all that being said, this is way against the way I normally can do anything. Matter of fact, I have a hard time even working my hands like that. But when doing that, I don't have a whole lot of control over the tool because I'm fighting the side load or the in and out load in addition to the turning load of the tool. There's two things going on here. Move this bend slightly closer in to the fulcrum, and that goes away because I don't have to fight that. Now, here's the one thing that I've found so far, and unfortunately I broke the tool because I was overstressing it to find out, but I took another one of these, just a regular straight one, all right, and I bent it 90 degrees right here, all right. So I went ahead and bent it, and by doing that, getting it nice and close to the fulcrum, I had no problem. I'm going to be rebending a set of these just so I can test this theory because I'm pretty sure on this. The closer you get to the fulcrum, the less side load effort that you have. But there's a secondary problem that's going on. And if anybody here can see it, as soon as it focuses up, you can see we got some teeth right there. The problem is those teeth don't really do anything. And what do I mean by that? Well, they help the tool from staying in the lock per se like that, but once you start turning the lock, they really have limited effect. Now, they do affect it in some way, shape, or form. The slight angle digs into the corner of the actual cut here, or the machining for the actual lock itself, or for the keyway itself. So yes, they do, and they might help out a little bit. But the problem is, even with this, look at the amount of rock that I'm doing, and watch how it crawls its way out. Do you see that? What we need to do is we need to eliminate that rocking motion. How do you eliminate that? Well, instead of putting cuts here on the inner edge, what you need to do is put cuts here on the side edges, as in plural, both left and right side. Have those run out to where when you're actually applying force, it's actually going up against the sides of the turning tool, not this little inner edge. Simply doing that would be it. Now, here's my problem. I don't own any tools that I could make any kind of cuts and or knurling like that at this moment in time. And I'm thinking about very seriously trying to make some so I can try this and see the difference on it. Because I'm still very strong in the belief that this is just a simple matter of very basic physics. It's about breaking the limits of friction, all right? You have a frictional load, all right? You're on a smooth surface, and there's nothing to hold that frictional load. Excuse me, now I'm starting to cough. Great. That, to me, is enough in itself to cause a little dilemma engineering-wise. I need something to keep this tool from rocking back and forth. But more so, same thing with this tool right here. This tool rocks back and forth so much that it is difficult to control, and the slightest amount of push in one direction or the other, and the tool rocks side to side. It can't stay in. And I have seen picker after picker drop these things left and right because of that said thing. And I don't care who it is. I've watched everybody do it. And, you know, I watch all the big guys. Now, of course, you'll never see it on, like, you know, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen George Jim do it, or you know, law picking lawyer or whatnot. But I know all of us regular folks who are not phenomenal pickers drop these things, and it has to do with there's nothing on the sides where you're actually putting meat to meat to hold these into place. There's nothing to cause that frictional load. All right, so that's the next mission. I'm going to try and take it on, see if I can, but maybe you guys can. If you guys have the ability to put some knurling on there or make some striations on there that could assist with that. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? All right. So all that being said, again, huge shout out to Sandman for giving me the ideas on this, because even watching him fumble made me go, I'm not the only one. There are more out there who fumble with the old fingers. And, you know, like I said, I see this. I got tons of tools. Tools, so I do the exact same problems with this. I agree I'm just an orange belt right now, but I am seeing the exact same problems with these tools that everybody else. And when we talk about top of keyway, because I've got, you know, this is top and bottom of keyway. This is TOK and BOK. So we're talking about the ability for this tool to work even better, and simply putting some striations on the sides where it's actually gripping the sides of the keyway. To me, that is where the magic is. All right, kids. Well, I am Uncle Snaff. I'm going to get out of here. Maybe later on I'll draw some drawings or something and show you some drawings or some pictures. All right, outside of that, I'm getting out of here. But, yeah, just feeding your mind with some of that good fun stuff. Y'all keep picking, enjoy, rock on, and I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.